to tell you about Gitmo, Guantanamo Bay. I slept down there a few weeks ago now, probably less than a month ago, and I thought I should take a look at that. There are about 240 of the worst that are incarcerated there. The executive orders January 22nd that orders that Gitmo will be closed within a year. I believe it will be. I don't think there will be reconsideration on that decision, which I believe was politically motivated. And a decision that was made in the intensity of the political campaign. And but he issued the executive order. Now they're trying to figure out how to follow it. That executive order is on a bulletin board in a common area for the enemy combatants. 7 pages in English with plexiglass over it, so they can stand there by their foosball table in their soccer field and read this executive order, which promises to them that they're not going to be on that island past the 22nd of January 2010. And it's in Arabic right next to it. I didn't count the pages, but I don't believe there ever has been in history enemy combatants, prisoners of war, so to speak, who have been treated as well as they have been at Gitmo. They get their Quran. There was one that wanted a Bible. He's been since released with 500 and some others that have been released. He couldn't have his Bible because it inflamed the others that were there. They have their number of flat screen TVs. One of them they were watching, some of them were watching it one day at an Arabic channel, and some lady came on to advertise something, and she had a short sleeve blouse on, and they went ballistic and tore up the TV and the room, which got them new furniture and a new TV. Out of 240 that are there, they on average attack our troops, assault them 20 times a day. Half the time they're throwing feces in the face of our troops. And our troops are being asked to stoically weather this and not retaliate. Now, I'm not for retaliation. I'm just for prosecute them for that and give them a nice long sentence and see how long they want to commit themselves to being locked up. But the worse we do, if it even is Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the mastermind, if he would throw feces in the face of a guard and get him down and try to strangle him with his chains, the worst we would do would be reduce Khalid Sheikh Mohammed's time exercising outside to 2 hours a day. He'd still be able to choose from his menu of 9 different items each day. He'd still be in air conditioning with the temperature set between 75 and 80 because that's the cultural temperature that they requested. He'd still get his Quran, his prayer rug, his skull cap, and he'd still get his television. That's what's going on. If you have heard of waterboarding, you've heard that we waterboarded 3 people. The United States waterboarded 3 people. 3 terrorists. We waterboard a lot of our special forces so that they know what that's like. In fact, I would be willing to lay a wager that 1 or more, maybe even all of the SEALs that rescued the captain have been waterboarded so they know what it's like. It's not torture. We've dealt with this in the committee over and over again. It's not torture. But of the waterboarding that took place, it did not happen in Gitmo. No one's been tortured down there. They've been treated with kid gloves. And but now it's going to be closed. Here's what I can divine from all of this. After tracking through all the legal arguments and trying to game this thing out, trying to make a prediction, I think I'm on this solid ground. They're not facing death penalties and they're not facing life in prison. So we'll try to prosecute as many of them as we can. And we have to do so quickly. Many of them will be repatriated to their home countries, where the home countries will promise they'll keep an eye on them. I don't trust those countries. We know that the recidivism rate of those that have been released, we've caught 1 out of 7 back on the battlefield trying to kill us again. That's the ones we caught. These are the worst of the worst. Their rate will be higher. And so I don't know how high it is. I actually think it's more than half will come back and attack Americans. It may be even higher than that. But if they will be released, most to their home countries. Some we can't release to their home countries. Some of them are most likely to be brought to the United States somewhere, where they'll be tried under a federal court system that has now granted some constitutional rights to enemy combatants and conferred Geneva Convention protection on all enemy combatants, whether they meet the definitions of Geneva and in fact they do not. So all, or almost all, will be free one day. I believe that many will come back and attack Americans and other free people. It will result in innocent people being killed, among them most likely Americans, and some may be released on the streets of America. That's what I think happens with this decision, and I really oppose it because it's not thought through, and these are the results. I could go on with Gitmo, but that's the deal.